From business trends to mom, life's delight. She means business, a powerful sight. Sylvia and Jay, a dynamic duo, sharing wisdom, a powerful view. Elevating women, breaking the mold. The stories inspiring, brave and bold. So tune in weekly for the latest scoop. She means business, beyond the scope. A podcast powerhouse, a force to see. Empowering women, wild and free.
Hey there, welcome back to the She Means Business podcast, where we take charge, mold decisions, and transform ambitions. I am your host, Jay Renee, and our co-host, Sylvia. She is sick today, so we have a special guest today, and that is Mrs. Laverra Cruz.
Hey.
Let's clap it up. So excited to have you here today. Coming into 2025, we've got a lot of things on the pipeline, and today we're going to talk about that, right? It's been a long time since you've been out, right? Haven't seen you in a while. Haven't seen you in a while. So tell the folks who you are.
I'm Laverra Cruz, owner of YFMD, and manager a couple other things, but I am here to help you on your pathway of your desires of your success. That is my goal for any business that I do or any business that I help, whether it's digital marketing, we do social media management, financial education for youth and adults, and business. I have a little list of things that I do. So if you need me, you let me know. And if I can't do it, then I direct you to who can.
All right. Well, that list isn't little. Well, that stuff that you just said, that's some real serious business, all right? Some real serious business. I know that what we do, a lot of what we do is the same. Some of those things, you definitely, the credit part, you can keep that. But a lot of what we do is the same. Same thing with me and Sylvia. We do a lot of the same things. So I think that this year we're really emphasizing collaboration, working together, and just kind of like molding those talents that we have together. So like you said, if something doesn't work out or you don't know, if you're not able to particularly help that person, you could send them my way or something like that. Yes. So that we're focusing on that all 2025. We're definitely focusing on that. So tell us a little bit about let me tell you what I did this week first, okay? This week has been a transitional week for me. Going into the new year, I want my life to be easier, right? So I sat down. I think we talked about this the first episode. Of course, you weren't there, but we talked about sitting down and putting your goals on paper. What do you want to do for 2025? What do you want to change? What is weighing on you mentally that you can, figure out how to balance all of those things? So this past week, I worked on that. I worked on how my business looks in 2025, right? Because my business affects my personal life, right? And I think that we have got to the point where we almost feel inhuman when it comes to being business owners. And I want to feel like a human again, right? Do you understand what I mean when I say that?
I definitely understand.
Yeah.
It's like I'm working in a cape all the time.
Yeah.
Get going. It was like then pin moms on top of that. Mm-hmm. So mom, work, business, make it happen. And it's like, man... Yeah. It's the weight. So yes, I definitely understand that.
Yeah, it's rough. And so, I want to be really transparent with my audience and let them know, that life happens, things happen, and you can't be ashamed of that. It's important to have an outlet. Let me, point out that where we are right now, we are at Blissful Alchemists, which is a beauty and wellness co-op, right? They've got a lot of amazing things here, like mediation. Serena, what's called Reiki?
She does Reiki. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And she does the health and wholeness, the recovery.
Yeah. So we're in the right spot for what we're talking about today, right? We're in the right spot for that. We're talking about transitioning. We're talking about mental health. And we're talking about, just kind of getting back to ourselves or,
developing.
Figuring out who we are and outside of just being an entrepreneur. It's a tough thing, right? Really, really tough. So tell me, what are some things that what you did this week
This week was awesome. This week I published my book.
Oh, okay.
Woo! It's a youth, children's financial education book. So I finally got that published. I've been working on that for a while, and made some connections and some growth, and just sat back. Made a plan. I did that this week
wow,
too.
that's
That's
big
what I
deal.
started. I had to make a plan since I've been out. I've been out for a while, but working myself in the background, moving in silence.
Yep.
So I have been working on what I'm planning to do, connect the connections that I've already connected, picked up the additional clients, and it's awesome that God's just developing. Even being here, I was supposed to be talking to Serena. We canceled 2 weeks ago, and I'm actually here now, so I can get that all connected. It's just been building myself, making sure my mental health is good. You know, that's the whole thing. So
Being productive, right?
I have been. Not just being busy.
Yeah, but being productive. Big deal. That's a big difference. I think in 2024, I was busy a lot. Was I not productive? Absolutely. But I want to do it differently this year. I want it to look different. Have a little bit more peace. Be able to kind of just, take a break. Because sometimes when we take a break, it's not an actual break. We're still looking at our phone. We're still social media. We're still scrolling. We're still catching content. It's just not a real break. Like, I need a break where I'm like, you know what? Take this phone, take this computer, and I'm just going to, sit on this beach right here and just take it all in and be present with myself, right? I don't get a chance to be present with myself. I realized that last year. So this year, we're going to be present with ourselves.
I love that.
So one of the first changes that happened, and I'm pretty sure that this will come to a shock to a lot of people, is that the Creative Studio by J. Renee, those doors that you used to be able to open, can't open those anymore. There is no longer a physical Creative Studio by J. Renee. Did
Wait,
you know
what?
That? You didn't know that,
Wait,
right?
what?
Moving in silence.
What?
All 2025. Yes.
Okay.
So you're just finding this out. Yeah, this is news to the world. I'm going to be transparent about it. I love what I do, and I still do those things. I still am, doing your events. I still am your marketing girl. I still am your content girl. I still am your favorite photographer. I am all of those things, but to be all of those things, I didn't feel like I needed to physically be in a building anymore. It was really very financially draining, very huge responsibility to make sure that you have staff there every single day, and I feel like once I cut that, I have been more relieved than I've been in the past 2 years. So while some people may say, oh, wow, I can't believe this. Are you okay? I'm absolutely doing fine. It's absolutely a good change for me. So instead of you coming to the building now to have your event, I have contracted with different venues in the area, and now I'm an event concierge service. So when you have an event, you still call me, and I'm going to find that place that's within your budget, I'm still going to be there to decorate and provide your catering service or whatever you need, but I'm not going to have that overhead that's killing me and that's taking me away from my family.
Wow.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah. So
Well,
that's news.
News for you today.
Yeah. So it was a struggle, the universe, I was tussling with it, but I finally decided that this is for the best.
Best for you.
For the best. Yeah. Plus, I can do your podcast. You see how good this looks. So yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. So
that's cool.
What changes are you making in 2025?
Well, you close doors and I open doors.
Oh, okay.
Nobody knew that either.
No.
So I have a building in Rayford. It's actually a group of 3 of us. There is for recovery, drug addiction, DUI counselor, on all herbalists, which is I guess it's kind of like I'm here now. And then it'll be me doing the marketing, financial education. It'll also be a place where you can come and do some work. It's not as quite big as J. Renee's studio, but it's something where you can come in, especially for Hope County, because there's absolutely nothing where the small business owners can come in and do anything. So if you need to have a meeting, if you need to come in and do some work, have some Wi-Fi, take a load off, because it's very laid back, especially with our all natural. She does juicing, herbals, what do you call that? Sea moss. All that stuff. So anything stuff natural, good for you. She does. And then we have our recovery counselor specialist. So that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a big change. because that makes me go back out and pushes me to go back out in the community and do what the community needs, because that's really where my heart is.
Yeah.
So helping with the recovery, helping with healing, processing, helping grow, helping the business, especially for Hope County. I think that's the biggest thing for me, is because that's my hometown.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things that are not happening that should. The whole family went to Hokai, but now you go and it's just such a low growth opportunities that everything's just smothered, congested. So I want to try to make that happen. Picked up a new client. So personal development is actually what they actually are, GPS Life Skills. I am with a home care agency, Grace Home Care, so I handle their marketing and different stuff. So it's funny how God's been working with me, because everything that I've been put together, because I'm also part of the Jai 6 Foundation for the nonprofit for the youth, and everything is kind of just like, he's making my recipes, like every ingredient that he is giving me, everybody has a connection opportunity to help grow, and it's all community based.
Yeah.
So that's been my biggest focus. I've been out of the spotlight with my dad, taking care of my dad since July.
Yeah, girl. We have not seen you in these streets.
It's been a big change. It's been a big change. I miss it, but I've also taken time. I've had a lot of personal things going on, marriage and different things, which has a big bloom. And I've taken the time to sit back, heal myself, grow, reflect, learn. And it's not losses, only lessons.
Well, we all need some form of healing, right?
That's
we
for
all
sure.
need some form of healing. I think that sometimes we look at people and we say, well, they've been through this, and well, they've been through that. And so we're kind of making excuses for them. It's not that we don't empathize or sympathize for you, but there comes a time in your life where you've got to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I got to work on this, right? Because we've all been through things. And unfortunately, this is a cold world. So
it's just getting colder.
People, yes, and it's getting colder and colder, right? And people don't necessarily care. So, I think back to when I was working as an employee, I had some bad habits. Like, okay, I'm going to be late. I'm not going to go to work today. And I use excuses, things that I had going on in my life to not show up, right? But when you become a business owner, you can't use those excuses anymore, because you got to show up regardless of if yesterday you were, you couldn't pay your bills, or if your lights are out, whatever. You still got to show up, because you can't fix them, because this is your only source of income, right? So healing is ultimately a necessity. Going through that process, finding out, why am I reacting this way? Why does this trigger me? What is it? And I'm not a clinical psychologist. I'm none of that. But I also know that there's things that I needed to heal from in order for me to give the best version of myself. And I'm still healing from things. I've been married, and I went through divorce. I have children that I've taken care of and adopted, that, weren't biologically mine, but they feel like they are. There's just a lot of things that I've taken on as a human being, as an adult, as a business owner, as a mom, that required me to do some form of healing to be able to do a good job at them.
That's
right?
facts.
Right?
Can't pour into them if you're empty.
Right. We cannot. And I was empty for many years. And I think that this is a pivotal time for me, is realizing that I got to put myself first. And I got to do what brings me peace, right? Put myself first, do what brings me peace, associate and surround myself with people that, understand me, but will also push me and motivate me. That's what I'm doing all 2025, and I'm moving in silence.
Facts.
That's the reason why y'all didn't know about the creative studio, because I didn't feel the need to make a huge announcement. I feel the relief, right? And that's good enough for me right now, right? It's good enough for me. My customers know. That's what matters.
That's all.
Yeah. So
I'm excited for you.
I'm excited for me too. It's a change, but the change is
good.
Yeah,
Change is good.
Yeah,
You don't change.
Good.
you don't grow.
Yeah.
Everything I wrote this post a while back, but everything that God has created change. We develop, we grow, it blossoms. Nothing stays the same. Think about it.
Yeah.
A seed, the wind changes. Caterpillars, insects, like nothing is ever the same. So I've had to learn that the hard way, and learning to become uncomfortable in my comfortable situations.
Yeah.
And once I realized I was becoming comfortable in those situations, it made me realize the toxicity that it was leaving because I'm so comfortable. Like, this is my normal. Why should it be different? And like, no, this is not normal.
Yeah.
This is not okay.
Yeah.
So making those changes and saying, hey, let's go out for it. This is what you're planning to do. This is what you were built to be. My daddy has always told me, my stepdad always told me, you were built for this, Laverra. You were built for this since I was a kid. You were built for this. All my traumas, all my childhood, all my struggles, you are built for this. There's no way that you're going to be able to do what you're supposed to do if you don't go through those trials. You can't train without anything. So being the changes that have made in the recent, it was scary. It was hard. But you got to do what you got to do. And only you know what is good for you.
Yeah.
So don't.
And that's true. I think that 2024, a really big thing was me getting closer to God.
That's you're in that relationship.
And people will try to discourage that, and I didn't listen this year. No, I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna be there. The support system that I've received from my church, they don't even know what's going on half the time. But sometimes when I get there, the things that are being said to me, the message that is being portrayed, is for me, right? So God put me here for a reason. God put me there for a reason, and I'm stopping fighting that. I fought it for so long because I know what I want to do. This is what I want to do. This is how I'm going to do it, right? But I don't have the total control of my destiny. A lot of people think that you do, but God's sitting here laughing at you like, girl, go ahead and try this, but this is not what I told you to do.
So, yeah.
Right?
That's what happens when you put your GPS in. You be like, hey, or you don't want to go this way? Okay, now you got an accident. Now there's delayed traffic. Now the road's cut off. So you still got to go back. I was talking to Denisha, the founder of Jai 6 this morning. And I was saying, you know what? God's been doing whatever he's going to do. I was like, I'm just sitting in the back seat. Matter of fact, I want to go on a hitch. I don't even care. You
Put the trailer on the back, right?
Just take me with you. Because since I've done that, the same thing, just let go. It's been like your phone call today. It's like, hey, it's like, yeah, sure. Why not?
Come on, girl. Get on this podcast. Yes.
Like my daughter, I've been working on this book for probably a year now. Started before my dad had his stroke. And I've just let it go. It was finished, but I still had to finesse it and, do what I wanted it to do, because you can actually interact with it and do different things for the kids. And she kept pushing me. My daughter kept saying, hey, Mommy, you need to finish your book. Mommy, go work on your book. Mommy, here you go. And then she did it again. And I was like, you know what? I was connected with an old friend who helped me do the self-publishing. She walked me through. And I was like, I'm not going to do it. I had the information for the last 3-4 months, and I've just been, but it's like, now it's time, because now it's time.
Yeah.
So I didn't procrastinate. I was here. It's right. My proof came yesterday. Now I can say, here, Jay.
And I'm so proud of you for that. That is a major, major accomplishment. I am so proud of you for that. Just the little wins, right?
I appreciate the little things.
Yeah.
It's the little things.
It's the little wins.
It's the little things that you have to remember.
We take that for granted. We take that for granted. Just those little wins. They seem little, but when that big picture, they're all a part of that big plan, right? That even sometimes we don't even know what that plan is. But it's important to be obedient and see and hear those signs and stay the course. We don't have to know everything. And a lot of times you get on social media and you see everyone just living so glamorously, like, oh, they got all these followers. And, every time she does an event, she has all these people there, or whatever. Like, that's not the plan for you, right? It's not the plan for you. You're not them.
And even if so, you got to think about how they feel. Like,
Yeah.
you don't know the weight they
What they're
carry.
going through.
You don't know what's going on
Right.
for real behind scenes. Like,
Stuff-
you go home and
so-
be like, ugh.
So this
So-
year, like, stop, like, you know, take those changes. Listen to, be obedient. Listen to yourself. Put your peace at the forefront. Don't compare yourself to people. Those people that you're comparing yourself to, maybe you should call them and figure out how you can collaborate with them instead of comparing yourself to those people. This year is a year of change for me, and I'm standing on that. I'm standing on business, right?
For real.
And that business is me first. And then here comes that little business that they like to call your little business, right? That's coming next. But I'm definitely putting myself to the forefront, my peace to the forefront, my family to the forefront. And I feel like all those other things will fall in line if I do that.
That is
right?
funny. So yesterday, service was, if you feel your purpose, everything else falls in place. That's all you just do what you need to do. And everything else will fall as long as you are full. Fill your soul. And then everything else is going to follow. And funny thing that I was saying building, because last week it was you're being built for this. So all the things that we think we're in control of, we've never been in control at the end of the day. That's why it's just been so miserable. And you're like, hey, let's go. And I'm like, no, what do I do?
Yeah.
Every time you make a decision. So I think that when we look at other people, because everybody will be like, hey, Laverra, a lot of people don't know. You know where I live. But everybody's like, yeah, but y'all don't know that I came up in a trailer that was the size of my living room. You don't know that my room was the size of a closet. Like, you don't know what I went through, and you don't know what I had to go through to be where I am. So to say, hey, look at them, but do you really want to walk their shoes?
Yeah.
Do you really want to do what they had to do to get to where they are?
Yeah.
And you're not built for it. You're built for what you're built for. And if you don't find that peace in yourself, then you're going to, it's always nagging. So, and
You're
it's
like
always a
you're
fight.
like a little hamster.
Yeah, there you go.
Like a little hamster. Just
And you're real.
going
Running
on
to
that
work.
wheel, running, not accomplishing anything. And I know exactly what that feels like, right? I know exactly what that feels like. And that's why it's important for me this year to let people see the real that's going on, being transparent. So, yeah, before I even sat down here today, I had a customer reach out to me and say, I'm ready to move forward with your services, right? So that's not stopped. The customers are still there. They're still coming. I've already shown what I was capable of doing. So every customer don't have to be my customer. I don't have to, if it's meant for me, Sylvia says this, if it's meant for me, it'll be for me.
Yeah.
I don't have to force it. Like, I want you guys to understand how what's meant to be for you is going to be for you. And that's really it. That's really it. So I think back on 2020, was it 2018, I was homeless for 6 months. I found a job in Virginia. I lived in Delaware. I wanted to get out of Delaware. And for 6 months, I was unable to find a place to stay in between Delaware and Virginia. So I had to commute back and forth, go to Delaware and stay at a friend's house for a couple days, go to Virginia and stay at hotels. When I tell you that my teenager, I didn't have a place for him to go during the day. It was the summertime. I just drop him off at the mall, give him a few $20, $40, $60. Go ahead, have a good time at the mall. I tried to make it a fun experience, although we had nowhere to go at night, right? So I DoorDashed and I Instacarted every day to make enough money to pay for that hotel, to transfer to Virginia, which ultimately got me here in North Carolina, which is where I've been the most successful. So do you want to go through what everybody has went through to get to what they have? No, what you need to do is figure out who you are. What's the best thing for you? Ask your God, whoever it may be. Mine's is I know who mine's is, but I don't know who yours is. Ask your God, whoever it may be, what direction am I going? And what's best for me? and do the work. She's got this course right now. What's the course that you're working on?
It's called GPS Life Skills. It's particularly pertaining to women, but because you were talking about God, this part, there's a letter that's written, and you can find it on gpslifeskills.com. The information is provided there. It's for professionals and your own personal development. So if you want to grow, then you can go to gpslifeskills.com. Okay. Look at it for yourself. It does have some intro. It has this letter on there so you can actually see there are a few things that can pertain to men, but this is directed to women to find yourself, to grow. And Miss Tips says you're more than lips, hips, and fingertips.
Yes.
So know who you are.
Look at this website with you. Okay.
And so on the letter, it says, when you were in the womb, this letter had me crying a few times, and I keep reading it. When you were in the womb, it says, my beloved daughter, I am your long-lost father. Through no fault of your own, we were separated. Before you took shape in your mother's womb, I knew you. Do you know the Father speaks to the pregnant mother's belly? I communicated with you when you were there in hopes that you would recognize my voice after you were born. When you were in the womb, I told you you would be an original masterpiece. Means nobody is ever going to be like you. There will not be another like you. I told you you had a mark to make, and the world will be void without the essence of you. I told you that the strands of my DNA in you, and that would always be connected somehow. My voice would ever be present with you for eternity. You would speak words that I share with you, not even knowing that I had spoken with you to shape them. It's just, part of this is like, it's deep. It's so much really more to, it's really, really much. There's another part here. Even in your darkest hour, when you felt like you sunk into the depths of the earth, I was with you, my beloved daughter. Because you brought, God, I was like, this letter, it says always and forever daddy is how it's signed. Mm-hmm. But it says, it's just,
no, it speaks to you differently.
It's different.
It's from the Father.
It is.
It's from the Father. And that's how that's supposed to come to you. So everybody who reads that is going to take that differently, right?
Yep. And one more. From this day forward, as a king, remember, by the way, did I tell you I'm a king? So from this day forward, as a king, my treasure chest is open to you. Every and anything you required is there. So what do you want? Mm-hmm. So it's a little shaken, and it's weird because they just became my clients. We just started with them at the beginning of this year. But pulling it in and honing it all in is just like everything, because I did some healing.
It's supposed to work.
It's for you. It was awesome. That's what I said. They contacted me. It was for, I was like, me? Little old me. And then the funny thing is, I'm going to get this again. The funny thing is if you look at Miss Tips,
that's you.
Black Girl Magic.
Let me see that. Let me look at that. Oh my God.
Like, if you look at it.
Oh, can we show this?
Yes, you can show. It's on the
Doesn't
GPS.
Look like her?
It's like,
you see how God works?
God did that, and this has been created since they started this 2020, and they're from North Carolina. So it's just like he's been doing. You just gotta sit back. I just be like, you know what? I don't even want to know where we're going. I'm gonna sit. Let me go to sleep.
Yeah.
You just do it, and regardless of everything that I've been through, y'all don't even know. Like, I had a whole mental breakdown 2 years ago. I had shingles. It was woof.
Oh wow.
But I was still operating business, but nobody knew. So I think that was when I was on with 104.5 doing the pretty and paid and doing all that. But I literally had a woo. And then my dad last year, it is like, you know what? Yeah. I'm sitting down. Whatever you got, God, I'm here. I'm going to work it out. Now we got to throw events for Grace Home Care. So I'm going to be doing that and going to get back out into my Iron Sharpens Iron.
Yes.
That's a big thing. So, that magazine came out the first.
I know, thank you for that. I saw myself in there.
Again, for the second time. Ooh. So it's a lot of big things. I can't do it. I say, ooh, I can't do it. But it's some things happen that's just like stirring. So I'm really enjoying, just sit back, enjoy the ride, and appreciate the little things.
Yeah.
If I can get 15 minutes to myself, I've learned to, hey, silent, quiet, take a bath. Yeah. Get my nails done, because I don't even do that. My husband got me look. So
I
don't even do that ever.
I used to. Now I'm at this thing where I'm like, listen, I don't have time to be sitting out here 15, 20. Well, it's an hour now. I don't have an hour to be sitting here. Okay. So what I did.
You.
Yeah. It's
For you.
I just don't.
You got to do it for you.
I've just been putting on these press-ons. Okay. These press-ons been working for me. But you know, when I have free time and I don't have anything to do, I really like to sleep. I like to sleep. I like to, you know, listen to a podcast. I don't find joy anymore in some of the things I used to do. You know, I don't find joy in that. I find joy in being around my family, being around my parents. I remember before they used to go places and they'd be like, oh, we're not going to ask, because, you know, my nickname is Peaches. We're not going to ask Peaches to go because she's going to have something to do or she's busy or whatever. Now they ask me and I'm like, okay, yeah, let's do it, you know? So just being more present with the things and not taking things for granted, because my parents are getting older and I'm starting to realize, like, you know, I need to take advantage of this time. I need to make sure that I'm there, I'm present, that I feel like I can, I don't know. Even with my kids, my son left to go to his duty station today. Mm-hmm. Life is changing.
Right?
It's changing. So, you know,
we fermenting. You'd be like, I'm getting old now. We fermenting.
Yeah.
This is happening. So
yeah, because like the little buttons on the phone are getting a little smaller. You know.
Yeah, I was just at the eyeglass doctor this morning.
Yeah.
My prescription got to be tweaked a little bit.
Yeah, but with that growth, with that age comes wisdom, right? And you got to learn how to use that wisdom. If you
are willing to accept that you need it. That's the difference. I've learned to accept that Laverra, that Lala,
yeah,
let her keep her down there a little bit. So,
and I'm just thankful. This year. I'm going into this year with gratitude. I think that I'm a part of this group called the Blossom Tribe. It's with Audrey. And was it Christmas or Thanksgiving? We did something. It wasn't Christmas. I think it was Thanksgiving. I went over to her house and we had like a little meeting and dinner and all that. And she was like, you know, going into this year, we're going to focus on gratitude, right? We're going to focus on what we're thankful for and mean that wholeheartedly and not just spit it out because I'm asking you. We're going to start taking the things that are important to us and we're going to really, hone in on that. And not take advantage of it. And my family's important to me. My kids are important to me. My business is important to me. But I am being who I am and finding out who I am and seeing what makes me the happiest is more important than that to me. It wasn't before. Like, I couldn't see past the creative studio. Right? And now I'm like, creative studio is established. Right. Jay, who are you?
Right.
Who are you outside of that?
Yep.
And that's what I'm going to do this year. I'm going to focus on who I am. I'm going to stop making so many sacrifices. Can I enjoy my life? Like, yeah, I got it. Your pictures are due. I'm working on it. Whatever. But I'm doing things at a different pace now.
I'm with you on that. Yeah. I think I had to learn that with my father. That was my biggest thing. So I have my kids. And honestly, me and my father haven't always been super tight. So me taking the change to make sure he's cared for. He's living with him. My husband actually built a room for him.
That's awesome.
So it's a bit different, but I'm enjoying every moment of it. So it gets frustrating being a caregiver.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot. Tough. And I got 4 kids, a husband, and him.
Yeah, you got a dog.
And 2 dogs.
Oh, 2 dogs.
2 dogs.
Wow.
So it's, and that doesn't include, like, my mom, and then I have 2 sisters. So my sister's actually in LA. She had to move with the fire.
Oh, my gosh.
So it's just been a lot things going on, but the old Laverra would have been like, and my dad was like, I know you got to be safe because you taking care of me. So it's just knowing that, you know what, it's cool. It's all cool. I'm built for this. I have I used to ask for patience. So apparently, you know, you don't ask for what you want because you will get the trials to go through to produce it. So I've learned that. And me and God have had this, I did a healing book. Christian, it's a 3-part Christian healing. So I'm on the second part, almost right into the third. And I just found so much about myself and healing those other things, and everything that happened before today doesn't really matter.
No.
I take 2 hours of the day. I used to be hour by hour. Now it's 2 hours at a time, and whatever's moving forward from that. I mean, I have my plan through the day, like, hey, we got appointments, I have this to get done. But if it doesn't, then, because that's what had my dad a stroke. That's what had me have a nervous breakdown. It's like, I can't get everything done. All this is going on. So now it's just like, you know what? Just flow.
Let it flow. That is a really strong lesson to learn.
Just flow.
Letting things go, letting it flow. Stop trying to be in control of everything. I am a person that likes to be in control. This is just what it is. I like to be in control. I see things a certain way. There's a certain end result that I'm looking for, and I've already sat down and it's in my mind and compacted the way that this is going to work to get that end result, right? And sometimes I ain't right. I'm not right, right? And this year I'm gonna sit down and say, what do you think, right? I want to be in rooms with people that I don't want to be in a room with people that know everything that I know. I want to be in rooms with people who can expand my growth, right? We're going to keep rambling on that.
No.
We can go on and on about it, but the lesson and the what we need to learn today and what we're trying to convey to you is that you're not the only one going through something. Changes are not always, change is good, right? And as you grow, make sure that the wisdom that you're gaining, that you're using it, and that you're applying it to your life. And stop fighting God and the universe to get what you think it is that you need. Because sometimes you don't know that. You don't know exactly what it is. And it's taken me, I'll be 41 in 2 weeks to even understand that. Yes, 2 weeks. So if you guys want to send, put my Cash App down here. It's like, no, I'm not going to do that. But, you know, you want to,
reach out to her.
Let me know.
Reach out
yes,
to her.
I would appreciate that. I actually do. So this year is about gaining confidence, working hard on yourself, and putting yourself first, and not having this empty cup, like you said, filling that cup up, so that when you have to share knowledge or you have to do something for someone else, that you have somewhere to pull it from.
Yeah. I'm going to say this. Well, my biggest thing has been pouring into my children this year. So funny thing is like, I say this thing, I had this cup that was so tainted, and my oldest daughter, she had to grow with me through all this.
Oh, don't get me started.
Oh, my baby, I love you. I
I
love you. Thank you. I love you. My oldest, I was like, I'm sorry. But now I have my youngest. She's 5. I'm a 5-year-old. Still processing that. So I had to realize that all the stuff that I had to deal with, and then seeing where I was with my dad in business, because my dad's been an entrepreneur for forever. I think that's what happened. That's what happened with me.
Rubbed on you.
Yeah, because he has web design. He's doing that. I was working with him, and it's like, I can't work for nobody. But he showed me that once you have this tainted cup, you're going to keep pouring. It's going to keep, you're passing on the same tainted water. So until you cleanse all that out, and then that's all also in your business. Because when you're pouring into your business, I don't want to be poured into the tainted. I need something to give me some clarity. Hey, it's not okay. We've been doing this for 5 years. Okay, that doesn't mean it's right. So the same aspect for my children, for the business, I want to connect, to grow, to learn. And honestly, I don't want everything. I'm good with crumbs. Crumbs add up to a pie. And if you can put your crumbs with that water, pass it on and share it. Oh, bread and water. Look at that. Went all back to, I see what you did there, guy. That was funny.
Yeah.
So the bread and the water, you're just going to keep passing it. And as long as you understand where that comes from, you'll be able to develop and listen to your children, listen to those around you. Especially, like, for instance, my daughter said, she kept telling me to do the book. I guess we can show the book. You want to show the book? Yeah. You want to show the book? It's Save, Spend, and Share. It's a financial interactive learning. So it is pre-ordered on It's pre-ordered on the Amazon. On the ebook. Ebook is on Amazon right now, and then it's coming up for publish, like in hand. But this is a proof, so it does have different things. It talks about what money is. It's digital, but each page actually, because my kids are very bored, they get bored quick. So what I did is actually each page has an interactive moment where you actually have to draw or write a list or make a difference. So my daughter,
I love it.
My daughter kept telling me, "Mommy, finish your book. Finish your book." She helped me. So listen to those that you've already planted. You started a seed. Listen to it. Listen, even if it's your children. The children have been telling me things that I'm like, all right, you're right.
These kids.
So these kids are different. But she was right. Go ahead and finish your book. And by the time I finish it, I get to sit here and share one with you today.
Thank you very much.
So
I appreciate that.
I said all that to say, listen to what pierces your heart. And in the seeds that you plant, know that there is somebody that's always, I'm not going to say they're not tainted sometimes. So definitely be aware and pray about it before you do it. Pray about it. Talk to yourself. Write it down. If it sits still, then it's supposed to be. And take that moment to continue to pour, to continue to share, to, hey, this is a breadcrumb, and don't be greedy.
Yeah.
Don't be greedy and absorb every moment. So when someone says, hey, what's going on? You know what? You sent that right on time. That's what I was looking for. That's probably what I needed. Why not? But when it gets that difficult, it's not for you.
Yeah.
So enjoy it, refill, cleanse, because if we don't share, you know something that I know. That's always. And I might not want to do it, period. I might not have time. I might want to go on a vacation. So as you pour into me and clear me out so it can be filtered, I appreciate that. So I can pour out to my family and my business. So it's the biggest thing. Thank you for the crumbs too.
Well, you done give me some crumbs too, girl. It is not just me. I mean, I just want to say thank you so much for coming on the She Means Business podcast. I think today has been a really deep conversation. We just kind of let this conversation flow. We didn't have, this outline or these notes about how we were going to do today. We just kind of sat together, and the same conversations that we have on the phone, we had today with you. So I appreciate you being here. Again, this is Mrs. Laverra Cruz from YFMD, Your Financial and Marketing Desires.
You
right?
did it.
A little tongue twisted, but that's who we're working with today. Please get connected to her if you need help on anything from marketing to finances, website design, all of that. That's what she does, and she's also a very amazing business buddy. Get yourself some business buddies in 2025. Get yourself some people that you can talk to about your business and about your personal stuff that you can trust. Make that one of your goals for 2025. And make sure that you like and subscribe to the She Means Business podcast. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook. And make sure you send your well wishes to Sylvia, because she was not here today, and I definitely did miss her.
Get better, Sylvia.
Definitely miss her. But we're happy to have you. And we're here every Wednesday on She Means Business podcast. And we will see you again next week. And God bless. Talk to you soon.